is what is going on? My name is Joe, aka Cap.
I'm Dom, not Mysterio.
Got Dash.
And I'm Francis.
And this is the push.
Sports Memorabilia Edition.
Yeah, no, sports fan edition. Look at us. Look at us all in our
Bunch of fucking jocks over here.
colors.
Look at these fucking jocks. Oh, it smells like a locker room on the Twitch stream.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Quick, someone hand me the axe. I got a lighter. I'm gonna make a flamethrower.
You're a fucking idiot.
God. Oh god. So, based on at least 3 out of 4 of us right now, our teams have been doing pretty good so far. Dom, you guys won last night. Congratulations.
NLCS bound, baby. Phillies can eat my ass.
Oh god, really hope we don't have any Phillies fans watching the stream tonight.
What are the odds?
Although we should be checked out because we do have somebody representing Pittsburgh right now.
Yeah, even more reason for the Philly fans to leave.
2-game losing streak, but we'll see how they do this week.
Listen,
True, yeah,
it's
that's
okay.
true.
It's not part. We weren't expecting to go undefeated. It's fine.
Scott,
I can't say anything. My
Scott
team's
very
doing.
color coordinated.
Red and black attack for Scotty
And
over
I
there.
am hoping for a really good night tonight from the Yankees. So
Listen, like I said,
Please.
I'm pushing for a Subway Series rematch.
Subway Series.
The
rematch.
Yankees always scare me when it comes playoff time because you have no clue what they're going to do. So, please.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what, Scott? You should be afraid.
Why would you say it like?
He's a Yankee fan too. You know.
Why would you say it like that? I'm a Yankee fan. I want them to win.
Oh no. I don't know that about you.
Yeah, no, Scott loves
I
that.
didn't know that we've literally ever talked about baseball before.
No, Scott's an Astros fan.
Oh, get off my show.
Guys,
show right
I don't
now.
know if you knew this, but
Hold on.
is it a bad time to say I really like the Toronto Blue Jays?
They haven't done anything this year, so sure, go off.
Oh my god! Wait, no, fuck! Wait, what was was it Montreal Expos? Yeah, that's what Scott's a fan of. Montreal Expos, the team that hasn't been in the league in fucking 20 years.
No, Scott's favorite baseball team is the Miami fucking one.
White Sox. The White Sox are going to have to sell soon. We could get them back.
What do you mean?
Yeah, have fun with
To get
that.
who
The
back?
White Sox.
No, to
The
get who
White-
back?
We can get the Expos back. The White
Bro,
Sox
they-
have to
they
sell
became-
soon anyway.
Why do we
They
want
became
the Expos
Washington.
back?
The
Yeah.
Expos became the Washington Nationals.
We
Oh
still
my god.
You didn't know that?
no.
Oh,
Yeah,
only knows
they moved the
the,
Expos to Washington and rebranded
football
them as
one.
the Nationals.
How much money is it going to take for the Dodgers to relocate to Brooklyn?
Yeah, I wish. That's all. That's all.
$700 million.
Listen,
but-
if New York
That's
had
never gonna
3
happen.
Major League Baseball teams in the same city, I think the fucking city would explode. At that point, just get a fucking team for every borough.
It would be fair.
The
best
Bronx has
in
the
each
Yankees.
conference in New York.
Yeah, right. The Bronx has the Yankees. Queens has the Mets. Brooklyn gets the Dodgers. What about Manhattan and Staten Island? What do they get?
yeah, what's
We'll
Staten
make-
Island?
We'll make up our own team called the Staten Island Replicants.
Oh, I mean, we have the Ferry Hawks, but they're a minor league team.
Okay,
It's
they will be our major league team. And Manhattan actually wouldn't it make much more sense for Manhattan to get the Mets because that's the major metropolitan area.
No, it would make more sense for Queens to get them because that's where their stadium is.
That's where they've been
Yeah,
for
but
the past.
Mets
and
is short
50
for
plus years.
Like
metropolitan.
always been.
Okay,
The Knicks
no, the
straight
Mets
gold.
will
The
stay in
Knicks have
Queens
a
because that's
hold
where
on
they've been since the
Manhattan.
60s.
Also because I'm pretty sure there's not a single place that you can actually stick anything else in Manhattan.
They can fit it in the garden, right?
Yeah, we'll have garden
Guys,
baseball.
Oh, you don't think they can fit a baseball
podcast?
You don't think they can fit a baseball stadium in
Once
MSG?
upon a time.
Let's talk about a sport that really matters here. Let's talk about the great sport of professional wrestling.
Of
All right,
entertainment.
you don't have to go. You don't have to go that far into saying the only sport that matters. That was like crazy.
Our favorite sport at the moment.
Our favorite sport at the moment, also the topic of this podcast. So,
This is a
Not my
podcast?
favorite sport.
I thought this was a live
and
stream.
they,
Who are you?
Who the fuck am I?
What are they selling?
I'm over here.
They're selling chocolate.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's talk about some wrestling. Talk about
Wrestling.
some pro wrestling.
Wrestling.
By the way, before we get started here, I want to make a quick shout out to another podcast that I was actually on last night, called AEW Fan Hub. Talked about the Wrestle Dream promotion going on, the Wrestle Dream pay-per-view going on this weekend. Went on. You guys should absolutely check them out on YouTube. Check them out on Apple Podcasts and
Ooh.
anywhere you guys get your podcasts from. I had a great time over there with Kelson and the gang, talking about this pay-per-view happening this weekend, Wrestle Dream. So be sure to check out that this week. It was a great time. Can't wait to do it again with you guys. But anyway, with that said, let's move.
Excuse me.
Hot.
Wow.
It's disgusting.
That was powerful.
You can
Exactly
tell
what
he
you
held
get
that
from
in.
a Mets fan.
Let's move on to the other side for a moment. Let's talk about WWE. We had Monday Night Raw this past Monday. Oh no, I just saw Scott do something. Anyway, we had Monday Night Raw this past
I was
week.
gonna say, I was wondering why you got so quiet.
And it was the first episode in, I think, like, what, a decade at this point?
Probably.
Yeah?
That was
I mean,
actually, that
give or
was
take?
2 hours. That's right,
Oh.
folks. Raw is back to 2 hours now.
Momentarily.
Momentarily until they hit Netflix. But
Netflix
they are
is going
back
back
to a
to 3?
2-hour show.
Yes. When
Wow.
it goes to Netflix, it'll be a 3-hour show again.
And to be honest with you, and I will open the floor about discussion involving this. You know, it was interesting. It was definitely interesting. However, I gotta say, don't know how I entirely feel about it, to be honest with you.
You're probably used to the 3-hour format, and going back to 2 makes it feel like it's going back quicker, and there's a lot of stuff that's been cut out. Strange stuff like that. You haven't like completely defibrillated, if I'm using that word correctly, from the 3-hour format.
I think you mean acclimated.
Acclimated. That. What did I say?
Yeah, so
Defibrillated is being fucking resuscitated.
True. Anyway, so let's just open the floor of this, guys. How do we feel about the first 2-hour Monday Night Raw in over
was
10
good.
years?
Does anyone
Also,
want to
just before you start, I do want to shout out AEW Fan Hub is in our chat currently. Thank you for chatting. Welcome to the crew. Nice to have you here.
You can
Hi
push it on.
guys.
And we just got a new follow, the baby FT3. Thank you for the follow. But
Whoa!
to kick
Thank
off
you.
the discussion moving forward, I do agree with Cap. I'm not sure how I feel about the 2-hour episode of Raw moving forward. I think production and creative both kind of struggled a little bit this week. It felt everything felt a little rushed, if that makes sense. You know,
Well,
like a lot
let's
of the
look at-
matches were very rushed. Also, AEW Fan Hub says this is Kelson. So, Cap, I believe you know who that is.
Yes, I do. What is going on, Kelson? Thank you for joining us here tonight on Twitch. But anyway, let's just start at the beginning of the show, because like I feel like you almost immediately felt like this was a 3-hour show that was trying to cram itself into 2 hours, because we got Punk starting off the show, and then he got interrupted. Then we had Rollins talking about Bronson, and then he got interrupted. And then we had the Intercontinental Championship match. That surprisingly did not get interrupted.
Shockingly.
Between that, and we've also seemingly gone back to this thing where we just take 10 random women and stick them in a massive tag team match, like smack dab in the middle of the
It's
show
like
that
once
lasts
a year.
2 minutes. I don't know. I think I don't know. I feel like this either needs to desperately get better, or like we need to get back to three. The rest of this year can't happen quick enough.
Yeah,
No,
I
we
think
Um,
there's going to be some growing pains. I feel like, but I'm sure after this week they'll probably get some things fixed. I think if they stop spending the first 5 to 10 minutes of Monday Night Raw showing people arriving, that'll save some time.
that
Because
could
like
help.
yes, we understand that everyone showed up for work. Thank you. You don't need to show us.
But what did they show up in?
Shut the fuck up.
no, no. This isn't something that was like, oh, this is like, oh, we need to get used to it. The 2 hour thing is stupid because they barely have enough time to show everything they need to in a 3 hour episode. And shoving it into a two is just going to make it too chaotic. I mean, there's a bunch of people that we don't really see. There's champions that we
Yeah.
never really see because there's not enough room for what storylines are going on.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean,
it's still gonna be good because if they're gonna cram more in, we're gonna see less talking. In which I've always wanted to see less talking and a lot more like matches in
yeah.
between.
That's the thing though
So,
too. I don't
yeah.
feel like this was like a WWE decision. I think this was a USA decision because they were like, "Oh, since you're leaving, we're cutting your TV block down to 2 hours." So now they had to adjust. Also,
I did
Kelson,
hear
thank you for the
something of
follow.
them. I did hear something of them not liking the fact that they were leaving.
Oh yeah, USA's
So this
pissed
could be
because they're going to
something
lose
like
so
a
much
little
money.
like
Yeah.
a sour taste. So
Isn't Monday Night Raw the longest running show on USA Network history?
I want to say yes.
Television, period.
yeah,
Well,
I remember hearing
but they've
that,
been
like,
on
10
multiple
years ago.
networks. But USA is definitely because they started on USA and then they left and they came back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's weird because I can understand why USA is pissed off because like they're gonna lose a lot of ratings that way. But like they have SmackDown now,
Yeah.
but Raw typically
It'd be-
has more ratings than SmackDown unless there's like a big event on SmackDown. It's 3 hours of high ratings and high ad revenue. Now they're gonna lose that, so I can understand why they're pissed.
I mean, I feel like they're pissed, but it's something that's eventually is gonna happen, and this is a tiny bit outside of wrestling, but they've been hanging on by a string of TV shows of cable.
Yeah.
It's gonna get to a point. I don't know how. I don't really know how it's still around, but I feel like at some point it's gonna stop being cable. We're just gonna have streaming services. So
yeah, I feel like that's definitely where it's going. Like, look at me, perfect example. I haven't made, how many times I've said it on this fucking stream. I don't have cable. I only have streaming services. But that's what I'm saying. If I can watch everything I want to watch, yeah, okay, maybe it's a day later. Big deal.
And if a powerhouse like WWE that is iconic on television going to streaming services, now it's like, okay, now it's only a matter of time until SmackDown leaves and goes to Netflix.
Well, they just signed with USA, so I think it's at least 2 years before SmackDown. And I'm sure they're probably going to just be testing the waters with Raw, see how they go. But I can only imagine it going well. Because now it's like you have Raw on Netflix. Netflix is going to want to keep that money and add more. So they'll be willing to pay to be like, hey, let's get SmackDown too, and let's get NXT. Oh, when Peacock is up, let's get their streaming rights too, so we could have everything on Netflix. Because then they get the pay-per-views, they get the catalog, they get the backlog. You know how many people are going to sign up for Netflix because of that? I guarantee you now, if everything WWE moves over to Netflix, pay-per-views and everything, I'm canceling Peacock. I don't need it otherwise. The only thing I watch on Peacock other than wrestling is The Office. I could buy the fucking Blu-ray for that.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
you only have to buy that once.
That's true. But here's something else, because this is a bit of a conversation that I've seen happening specifically in the online community when it comes to wrestling. A lot of people have talked about the fact.
The fuck are you giggling about?
What are you giggling about, dude?
I'm waiting for the topic.
It's not that. It's not that.
Oh, I was getting hyped.
We're not talking
No,
about that.
we're still talking about
We're getting there, but not
Right
now.
now, behave yourself.
No, we're not
Damn,
getting
I'm
there.
getting hyped for that subject. I am.
Behave.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
So anyway,
My excitement got the better of me.
shut
Uh
up.
huh.
All right. So back to what I was talking about. A lot of people have mentioned the fact that they wanted Raw to go back to 2 hours for a few years now. This has been a major point of conversation. But and I think I have a theory on this. In the past, let's just call a spade here. Raw was not good.
Under Vince,
And
yeah,
so a lot of that 3 hours felt like
A
fluff.
chore.
like a fucking
It
eternity.
felt like fluff. It felt like it didn't need to be there. But now,
Yeah.
now that we're in this new era, this new Triple H era, where a good like 90% of the content has been good, to be honest with you, perhaps now Raw is looking at a completely different problem here. Perhaps maybe there's too much good things going on now.
There's too much talent. You can't hold it.
Because
to 2 hours.
because let's think about it like this. What are some of the major stories of Raw right now? Well, you got the Judgment Day. They were barely on the show, by the way. You have
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins. That was again barely talked about.
And CM Punk and Seth Rollins.
You got
My-
Yeah, true. You got Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins stories. One of your biggest star, one of your biggest new talents,
And you
right
barely
now.
showcase.
And you barely talked about it.
My
You
boy
got a
Braun
world
Breaker is
champion that
evil
you are
again.
trying to push, and I give them credit. That match with Sami Zayn was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them credit on that. I don't even think Scott could disagree with that one. It was a fantastic match.
No, that was really good. Yeah.
You got an Intercontinental Champion that you're pushing to the stratosphere in a match where most of it happened during commercial.
That's
Yeah.
whack.
You got with another guy who we've been praising his storyline for how many weeks now on this show?
I'm going to say at least 3 weeks.
At least a month now we've been pushing the idea that Xavier's doing some of his best work right now.
Oh, yeah. And that heel turn is coming. It's just like Triple H is the master of like long-term storytelling, but keeping everything interesting the entire time. Because
But
otherwise,
how,
whenever
effectively
Vince
is he gonna
tried
be
long,
able to do that?
oh yeah,
with
but
only 2
that's the
hours?
thing. But that's the whole thing. Is like no one thought they would stretch out the whole fucking Cody finishing his story for another year, but they did it. Right? Like Triple H is good at that, which is he's good at keeping you interested, even though it's taking way longer than it needed to. But
Yeah,
like
true.
under Vince, his idea of long-term storytelling is we'll do this thing, and then we won't talk about it for 6 months, and then it'll come back.
All of that may be true, but my big thing here is, look, for years as people have been demanding Raw to go back to 2 hours, it's because there wasn't that many good things happening.
Yeah.
But now we're under a completely different situation where now there's too much good stuff happening right now.
Absolutely.
So
There's a
I
lot
don't-
going on, and it's a lot to cram into 2 hours. So I think, again, it wasn't. I don't see it being like this being a WWE decision because I don't think they wanted to shut Raw down to only 2 hours. Like I said, I think this was just USA Network being like, listen, since you're leaving, we have to get your 3 hour block to other people. So we're going to shorten Raw by an hour. You're only getting the 8 to 10 block, and we're going to give the 10 to 11 to something else.
yeah, true.
You
So,
know,
I
so
mean-
like I said, I don't think this was. I can't put this on WWE. I don't see like, especially since it's reverting the second they go back to Netflix.
True. So then
So-
let me ask you guys. Let's finish it off with this question. We've talked about all of these fantastic stories that are going on Raw right now. How badly do you think these stories are going to suffer with these new time constraints, or do we have anything to worry about at all? To be honest with you.
Well, like you said earlier, Cap, if they go down the route of just waiting out until the end of the year until they end up switching over to Netflix, yeah, that can feel like I don't think anything's going to suffer too long, even in the worst case scenario. Like they're going to have to settle for showing bits and pieces of all the ongoing storylines that we would like to see blossom and bloom under better creative development. But even going off of that tangent, there's still like they could utilize the 2 hour structure into a greater formula and showcase all the different wrestlers and build off of different feuds and angles that we could see greater expanded upon when they do make the jump to Netflix. So I guess it's like what you Dom said earlier. We just have to see if Triple H can use the 2 hour method to get all the stories, and like Scott said earlier, he would get all the better matches there too.
Yeah. There's I've actually I actually really liked the constant interruptions from different superstars during that promo session. And I understand it was probably a choice that they had to do because it was shrunk to 2 hours, but I don't know. There was something about it that went really well. So maybe if they can keep that concept going into and it extends by 3 hours, and so you can probably add like another match slot and you can add another section of a storyline in there because you'll have like multiple promos within one promo, and that'll save you probably like 5-10 minutes. And but also for the 2 hour stretch, it doesn't. I mean, if you want to rush matches of it, that rush matches a bit, that's fine. Uh, Sometimes matches being a little shorter makes it more exciting because you have to get a lot more off within a short period, and just like the craze factor just kicks in.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I don't think it'll be too bad. Like I said, I think this first week of the 2 hour time slot was very much like growing pains in a way. Um, like next week will definitely be the way to really tell on how we're doing with that, because it's a matter of, like you guys said earlier, is like prioritizing certain storylines, maybe pushing some others to the back burners for a week or two. But you know, like the people always say, like distance makes the heart fonder kind of bullshit
Yeah.
thing. So it's like they could push a storyline a little bit to the back burner for a week, and then the following week, something else will take that spot of, hey, we're not going to do anything with this for this week, but like since this feud didn't get anything last week, we're going to like showcase that, and then maybe you have something a little better that way. And then when we move back to the 3 hour format, they just go back to what they were doing before. Because Netflix is going to have commercials anyway, because they need the commercial breaks.
True.
And Netflix wants that ad revenue anyway. So,
well, in that case, I guess the best thing I can say for this right now is thank God that this isn't permanent.
yeah.
But and
now, if they would
so
have
yeah,
did this
let's
like
see.
5 years
Let's
ago, I would have
see.
been like all in.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Hopefully, man, they can finish strong on USA, and then we can get back to a bit of normalcy once we hit Netflix.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on here, and we're gonna talk about Scott's favorite story of the night, and
Yeah, that's
Francis's.
right. And Cap, this is on you. Remember, this is on
Don't you
you.
do it. Oh my God,
Yeah, this is on you.
We got grippers for free in chat.
Take him off the stream. Okay, let's talk about this.
I don't.
There was a
Francis, remember,
report.
it's his fault.
There was a report that came out this week. A man was kicked out of his hotel room, or kicked out of his hotel because he was taking illicit feet pictures of different
Oh God, I
NXT
can't.
women's superstars. Okay, I don't know
But
that
like,
there's a lot of time that we need to spend on this because I think I would hope to God that we're all unilaterally in agreement here.
Yeah, it almost makes you wonder why the fuck we bother talking about the story when we all obviously came to the same conclusion. You fucking.
my only thing, I'm
Oh
not
God,
here. I'm not here to
no.
shame
Oh
anybody
God.
for
I'm
what
not here
they're
to shame
into.
anybody. No. This is not a shaming thing. This is not a shaming thing. But like, what the hell?
people like what they like, but I feel like you cross a line when obviously you cross the line when you're taking pictures without the consent of the person in the picture. Whether it's a hand, a foot, other body parts, whatever. You done fucked up, my guy.
Just
I'm sorry, Kat, but although I do agree with you guys, I'm also a man of understanding. And there's something we
Oh
all
my
need to
God.
learn about this story that we've
No,
just
there
I
isn't.
witnessed.
swear to God.
No, there
And
isn't.
we are living in tough times. And tough times mean you gotta make quick ways to make money. And what better to make money than to sell one of the best feet in the world from people who really take care of them? I mean,
I
that
can
guy
give
was
you
looking
about
at a
10
gold
million
mine.
different ways you can make money better.
He was
I can think
he was
of
looking at a gold. Yeah, but there's certain gold mines, and that was one of them to him.
I legitimately thought you were about to start cutting a fucking Dusty Rhodes hard time fucking promo.
I thought he was gonna say, guys, we judge, but what are you gonna do when your power goes out and you're in the mood and you don't have internet? That's where I thought this was going.
Oh my God.
He might have needed a couple more hundred cap to pay rent, and we don't know. Okay, he's just
I
trying to
could think
find a
about I
quick
could
way to
think
make
of
a
about
buck.
10 million different ways better ways he could have made money than this. I can think about 10 million different ways.
Name all of
Number
them
one,
right now. Name
we have
all of
internet.
them right now.
I want an
Um,
alphabetically ordered list of all of them.
all right.
Blindfolded.
Oh my
Anyway, moving
God.
on.
Yes, moving on, moving on. Glad we covered that.
This was your
Because
fucking
it's
idea.
It was your fucking idea, motherfucker! I
I
kept
thought it would
saying
be. I
multiple
thought it
times.
would be a
No,
lot
no,
fun. To
give
in
me a
my
minute.
defense,
Give
I
me a
thought it
minute.
would be a
Give me a minute,
lot
Scott.
funnier
Give me a
than it
minute,
actually
Scott.
was.
Scott, give me a minute. I said multiple times, do we really have to talk about this? Are we really going to assume that our core audience doesn't have the fucking wherewithal to just be like, testing a women's body parts without her permission is bad? Did we
I mean,
really
apparently we
need
do if a guy's doing it. If it
fuck up,
happens,
Pat?
apparently we have to.
Okay, seeing as how we have
Oh
to, hey,
God!
dude, on the rare chance that you're watching our show, I don't want to sound too judgmental, but you're a sick man with sick thoughts, and people like you should just not do that. I almost went full Kendrick. Do you know how much of a Super Saiyan Geed Super Saiyan
Francis,
you need
Francis,
to
what
be
we do
to
not
make
do,
me go
what we
full
do not
Kendrick?
do is kink shame. All right, we do not kink shame.
I'm not kink shaming, I'm Geed shaming.
You
There
do
is a
not do that.
difference. There is a difference. Fuck.
We are people of freedom. No kink shame.
Dom, I threw my bottle across the fucking hallway, and it hit the chain on my door, and the
Did it fall
chain
off?
fell off.
Yes.
That's what this is doing to me.
Okay, in my defense, I didn't think he was actually going to throw this
Oh,
Oh God!
that
Yes.
made me so mad.
Oh God!
Oh man!
Round of applause for Francis, everybody. Round of applause for Francis.
I'm
God!
fucking
Yeah. Well,
screaming.
Francis, I already know the reason. I already know the reason why we did
No,
this topic.
give me a minute. I got so mad I ripped the metal tag
Because
off the iced
you
tea.
just gave
I went
us,
to the iced tea and I drank the metal tag.
Francis, you just gave us two things of content for TikTok. So thank you very much.
Oh my God, that is
That was
absolutely.
great.
That's absolutely
Oh,
true. There you go. There
oh.
you go. You found out my plan, Geed. Congratulations. You found out the plan. I triggered you
It's
on
for the
purpose
content.
so that I could have content, so that I could make a TikTok out of it at the Push Wrestling, which you should all be following on TikTok and Instagram.
Nice
Nice
plug.
plug.
Yep, there it is.
Also,
I swear to God, I'm gonna make you that fucking shirt.
We are making a shirt out of that.
by the way, you're Satan, Cap. I just want you to realize that.
I do it for the content. What can I
Like
say?
he's wearing a Devils jersey, and yet somehow,
I love how he's pointing this way. There's nobody
Who
there.
is he? Who are you pointing to?
He was
God.
pointing at me.
He's
And that's not a
underneath
shot at the
me.
Devils. I like the Devils, but like I'm saying, devil as in devil, like he has a
Yeah.
representation
No,
of a devil.
Francis.
And
In my point of view, you pointed at me, so that's all that needs to know.
Thank you,
All right, well,
Scott.
there
At
you
least someone here gets
Okay,
it.
well, for the stream's point of view, he pointed at the chat. So
All right, chat, it's all your fault.
It
All right.
is.
Oh god. All right.
Oh,
We had
God.
our fun. Let's talk about a real topic now. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this episode. Let's talk about Bad
God,
Blood.
you're going full fucking redneck. Oh my god.
you're dead.
You just, I know that was soda, but you just downed it and tossed it out of the frame. Like, that
I'm
was
dr-
nuts.
I'm drinking my feelings.
Oh god. All right. Well,
So yeah, Bad Blood.
let's talk about Bad Blood. Let's talk
and
about that.
the results of our new prediction game with the new parameters.
Yes, that's
See, here's
true.
the thing.
We did
Does
play
anyone know who actually won?
Hopefully,
Yes,
yes.
I
me and
actually
Francis.
so I have
Me and Francis
all.
know who won.
Okay.
Yeah, Scott and I,
Because
we watched the pay-per-view together. I have all the results written down. I was going to run it by you guys. I was saving it for tonight so we can all decide everything. I have all the points written right here.
so here's the thing.
This is
We
the
should
most-
probably tell the person who won that they won, so they had a pay-per-view ready.
I mean,
No,
like,
that's for this next segment. That's for next segment.
What, next week we're gonna fucking decide who what
We're going to
we
decide
watch?
next week.
yeah.
No,
Okay.
tonight. No, we know who. We don't have to go through it. We know who won. We'll just say it at the end. But
Well, we
then
can put it in
by
chat.
next week, it'll be a segment for next week. We talk about that pay per view.
Okay.
We don't do it on the same.
I know
we
we're
don't
not
do it
going
on
to
the
talk
same-
about it, but
Yeah.
I'm saying so the person who won can
Yeah.
say, "Hey, this is the pay-per-view we're going to watch."
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, we
Well,
will find out.
We'll
We
share
will-
that on Instagram and TikTok, which you guys
Yeah.
should follow.
Nice plug.
Shut up.
I pointed the wrong way again.
Don't you ever
You pointed at Cat.
in front of me ever again.
I think I'm going to switch from.
Okay, let's fucking start talking about this. Goddamn
Okay,
blood.
so Bad to the Blood 2024.
Yes, Bad Blood 2024 premium live event happened this past weekend. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is probably one of the better ones this year.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, no, that
Possibly
was
one-
that was
possibly
really good.
one specific match,
Yeah.
but overall, I genuinely feel like this was one of the better ones that we had this year.
All right. Gentlemen, would you like for me to go down the card and explain who got the points for this one?
Well, we'll start
Yes, let's-
when we talk
let's do
about
this.
each match, like we usually do. So, what was
Yeah,
the first match, Francis?
The first match, as Dom rightfully predicted, was the Bad Blood Hell in a Cell match between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Right out of the gate, each and every one of us get a point because Punk was victorious in his vengeance crusade against the Scottish psychopath.
We all got the point on that one.
Yeah, we
We
all
all
predicted
predicted-
Punk.
We all predicted Punk.
Huh.
Dom,
Interesting.
unfortunately, you did not get the bonus points because they did not leave the cell.
I know, I'm very pissed off about that.
Maybe that's what
And
I was thinking.
okay, so I'll start this one off because this was probably the best pay per view, the best match in the pay per view. So out of the whole thing, I would say.
Hands down.
It should have been the last match,
Yes.
but because for some reason they like to give the superstars more power than the title of the match, which should have been the Hell in the Cell because Punk and McIntyre are just as big as names as Rhodes and
Politics.
Reigns. But this is also, I have a couple of notes, and I have 3 notes, and those all through the pay per view. One of my notes was for this match. The Punk and McIntyre match got the highest rated match of 2024 with a 9.6.
Damn.
Really?
On whose scale?
Was it
I
that
didn't.
website I
forgot
sent you?
what the name. I forgot what the name of the scale is, but it wasn't Dave Meltzer so I'm not following.
No,
that
yeah,
stuff.
Dave Meltzer does stars, and it's like 1 out of 5.
Yeah, no, this one I forgot what it was. I should have write it down or something.
It
but
wasn't PWI. They usually wait until the end of the year.
That's for what I saw. But it was crazy the fact that toolbox hit on McIntyre was
Oh my god.
Yeah, that split his head open.
was not fake. It was,
That wasn't
that
worth.
was
That
crazy.
legitimately busted Drew open. I think he got something like 12 or 13 staples after the match.
something
14.
like that.
Was
Yeah.
it 14?
This
It was
We all saw
14.
the picture. This man's head looked
this
like a
match-
freaking football.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not showing that on the stream.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah,
we-
this
No.
match, it would have been. I mean, it would have been cool to see them go out of the Hell in a Cell, but it was. I felt like it would have been better if they didn't. Um,
I mean, either way, it was a
they
great
were really,
match.
they were really creative during the whole match. I mean, they used weapons. We don't really. I mean, it was the obvious weapons.
Wrenches,
As
toolboxes.
it went on, they were breaking stuff off. They were using weapons in certain ways that they were really creative with the way they were doing the match, and it was just instant. And I knew if there wasn't any blood, it wouldn't have been good, and it just bled everywhere.
No,
And
that
it
needed
was
to be.
great storytelling between.
See, here's the only thing now, because we all know it's been a long time since they've talked about it. Obviously, WWE isn't in the business of using blood creatively anymore. They're not open to people bleeding to get color and do things like that. So they have to do it what's called the hard way. So you're not using a razor blade to get color. You're doing it legit. So obviously that toolbox hit was legit. Like that busted him the fuck open. Drew was busted open. He was bleeding everywhere to the point where I think towards the end of the match, the referee had to get a towel and wipe Drew's face off so he could fucking see something. I also just poked myself in the eye like an idiot. So, Punk was also cut open. I don't know how. I think he got thrown into the cage wall. I think correct.
Yes,
And that
multiple
busted
times.
him open.
Man lost a lot of blood.
They both did. I mean, like Drew. At one point, Drew McIntyre had like a full-on like Ric Flair Crimson Mask.
Crimson Mask.
Just straight up, just gone. Like
CM Punk almost killed McIntyre. It looked like.
yeah.
It seems like it.
The ending.
With the edge of the table, with the edge of the leg of the table, that was
was fucking
insane.
cool.
How the camera angle was.
I genuinely looked like he stabbed him. Like,
Yeah.
The
Right?
spot, the ending spot where he wraps a chain around his knee and uses that for the final GTS was, mwah.
Yeah, that was genius. Then
well, let's talk
like
about the moment before that,
the
where
beads.
I swear to God, I thought Drew like had broken his back.
Oh yeah, on the
On the
stairs.
steps, yeah.
Oh my god!
Tell me
like-
how in this match that looked like the most violent thing out of
Yeah.
everything.
See, that's the thing. With my issue with a lot of like death matches. I hate death matches. I've talked about it in the past. I don't think they're entertaining as most people think they are. Because it gets to a point where it's just too much. This match, this Hell in a Cell match, was walking a very fine line of being too much, but they just barely kept it under, in my opinion. Like it was good. I really enjoyed the match. I thought it was good. It didn't go too far, is basically what I'm trying to get at. Like it didn't get to the point where I'm like, they're just doing this for a reaction. Like it legitimately felt like a real blood feud. Like these two men wanted to kill each other. Yeah. And that's what made it a good match. It wasn't just two guys in a match being like, oh, let's use a light bulb. Yeah. So
yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I also I thought it was funny. It always makes me laugh when you see a thumbtack spot that's not thumbtacks. So it's like with the beads.
It was thumbtacks.
When I saw the bag, I was like, oh god, I fucking hate thumbtacks.
Like, no,
and then the beads fell out, and I started cackling. I thought it was I was like, that's fucking genius. That's great.
All I did was like breathe a sigh of relief, to be honest with you. So yeah, I guess I'll give my take next. I agree with Dom. This match, and I agree with the both of you, to be honest with you. This match was probably the best match of the night. This actually was the best match of the night. I think it was gory. It was graphic. It was
another word beginning with G, please.
Honest to God, it needed to be. I think, given everything that we know about this story and about these two, I think that anything less than what we got was going to be a disappointing payoff to this almost year-long story at this point. So I think that this match was everything it needed to be, and CM Punk might have won the match. But y'all cannot tell me this man looked like a winner at the end of that match.
No, he
This
even
dude
said it
was
on Raw
breathing out of an
on
oxygen tank.
yeah.
Yeah.
He even said it on Raw on Monday night. He goes, he wasn't sure how he was going to come out of that, and he looked fucking terrible. Like
He looked.
I miss
he
it
was
when
beat the
people
fuck up. He was taped up, cut, and bruised.
Yeah. And the last thing I will say about this, because I am going to give WWE a lot of credit with this. They have brought back the aura of the Hell in a Cell match.
Mm-hmm.
They, for a very long, I think you will all agree with me on this. I even think chat will agree with me on this. The Hell in a Cell match for a very long time has felt like there is no stakes. There's no aura behind this match anymore.
it was an
Part of the reason is
obligation,
because
not
it
an
was
ending
painted
to a
red
blood
for
feud.
some reason.
No.
Yeah.
But
Ever since they were doing like the gimmick pay per view of Hell in a Cell, like we need Hell in a Cell is always in October, and we have to have Hell in a Cell matches because it's the Hell in a Cell pay per view. It's like, okay, you're just having this match because it's the name of the pay per view, not because it's the end all be all of a feud. You know, it doesn't feel important that way. Like it when it's a match that has to happen because it's the name of the pay per view, short of like the Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank, it doesn't feel important.
exactly, but
You
they
know,
brought
the
all of
Royal
that.
Rumble
They
and Money
brought
in the
all of
Bank,
that back.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank are exceptions to that because they're not
Yeah.
like a match that can happen anytime. They only happen at that pay per view.
And usually,
You know, and it's
also the
high
matches
stakes
have like
for high stakes for multiple people. Like Royal
yeah,
Rumble's 30 people. Money in the
War
Bank
Games?
is 6
Oh.
to 8. War Games is another one that's like that's fine that it's Survivor Series because it makes sense. Survivor
yeah.
Series War Games, it works. There's no like big stakes to War Games other than we have a lot of people and sticking them in two rings makes it entertaining. But like Hell in a Cell needs to be its own thing that can happen at any time.
Yeah.
Not reserved strictly for October because spooky season and the word hell.
Yeah, no, I give them credit because with one match, they brought all of that aura back into this stipulation.
Oh yeah, it
This
felt important
match
again.
felt important. It felt dangerous. It felt like this is not something either one of these guys want to do. This is something that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I give them credit, man. I give them credit because they went nuts in this match, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm almost afraid now to see what the when or what the next Hell in a Cell match would even be.
Well, hopefully we don't see one for a long time because otherwise
Hopefully,
it'll diminish
yeah.
the
Hopefully,
the
hopefully.
feel of it.
Francis, what about
Swing. Oh no, I loved it. It was simple, bloody, effective. Like Dom, when I saw that the bag did not have thumbtacks, but the ripped up shreds of the friendship bracelet, I laughed and said, "Drew, you infinite Geeticus." I'm glad cell matches are dangerous again. I got a lot of flashbacks to Triple H versus Kevin Nash back in '03 with this one. Um, this just doesn't speak for the match itself, but the pay per view as a whole. With how good the show was, I hope we get other ruthless aggression / attitude era pay per view revivals like Armageddon from this. I would
Mm.
love them because think about this. You want to know what a Hell in a Cell match we haven't seen in a while is? The Armageddon Hell in a Cell.
Oh yeah, the 6 man.
Yeah, do you guys remember that?
Oh my god, I forgot all about that.
Six
Honestly,
Yeah,
man Hell in a Cell,
yeah, the
yeah.
Armageddon Hell in a Cell. They need to bring that back.
God, yeah. We need to see more
That
some
match
well,
they only happened once, and that match was pure insanity. You might remember it for the spot where Deadman chokes Lamborghini off the top of the cell and onto a truck.
Fuck, you're right. That was that match.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
yeah, that was crazy.
That was incredible, man. That was
But-
I would
incredible.
love it if they brought back the Armageddon cell.
I mean, listen, like I said, because Triple H is not a fan of like the gimmick pay-per-views, like other than Money in the Bank, and even that's not 100% safe. The only one to me that's really safe is like Elimination Chamber and Royal Rumble, because Royal Rumble is part of the Big
They sh-
Four.
and
and
even
They
then,
should
there's
bring
a
back
very
money in the. They should bring back Money in the Bank for WrestleMania again.
That's
I
a
liked it when
possibility,
it was just on
especially
WrestleMania.
yeah, especially now that WrestleMania is 2 nights, so you can afford to squeeze it in
Mm.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I miss WrestleMania ladder matches.
Because they even said, like Triple H even said at one point, he's not a fan of the gimmick pay-per-views and he wants to get rid of them, which I'm not 100% against. The only, like I said, the only ones I wouldn't want. Obviously, no one's going to touch the Royal Rumble. That's its own thing that needs to be its own thing. That can
War
stay the
Games.
way it is.
Yeah.
War Games obviously just became one, but it's still Survivor Series, so it's like
Yeah.
different. And then Elimination Chamber.
And even
Should
then, I
just
can
stay
see
its
him.
own.
I can see him renaming Elimination Chamber to back to No Way Out.
I mean, yeah, like you could have it No Way Out and just have the Elimination Chamber featured on that pay-per-view
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah. Get Seether to sing the intro again. Yeah.
I thought it was Evanescence. No, that was Mania 19. I thought Evanescence sang the intro to No Way Out.
Nah, it's solely because I remember the song that they did for that one No Way Out, Fake It.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, moving on to the next match on the card. Francis, what was the next match?
I believe the next match we have, drum roll please, Nia Jax versus Bailey for the women's belt on SmackDown.
Yeah, I know. I was completely wrong.
I was completely wrong
No,
on this.
no, it wasn't. What was it? Fuck. No, I'm lost.
Dom, I'm looking. You put Nia, Dom.
I did put Nia down. I
You
said
put
Nia
Nia
was going to
down.
win, and then Tiff was going to cash in, and she did not. So,
That's the exact same. Oh no, I put Bailey, so I was wrong in this one.
yeah.
I was wrong on this one too.
Yeah.
Me and Dom were right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yo, you should have seen it. You should have seen it when I saw Tiffany Stratton about the cash in. I was like
We were
pushing
all like-
Francis, flipping out. I'm like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And as soon as Nia Jax got up, I flipped out and started hyping myself up so much because I'm like, yes, she's not. I was like, yes, she's not gonna do it. Yes, fuck you, Francis, and you're not gonna get it.
I thought she.
Catching it.
I legitimately thought she was going to
this
do
gonna be
it.
the time she did it, man.
I legitimately thought she was going to do it, and then Nia Jax sat up like the fucking
Nah.
Undertaker, and I was like, "What is happening?"
It's too quick for their friendship. It's too quick of a friendship. They have to last a little longer.
watch it
I
be on
knew
a
it.
random.
It was
Hold
great.
on, fellas.
Started the abuse. So
Watch the cash and be on a random episode of SmackDown.
I'm
I mean,
gonna be
it's
so
possible.
Listen,
Listen, with
It's
Triple
like
H in charge, the fact that he took the IC title off Braun Breaker on a random ass Monday Night Raw, anything is possible. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
be shocked at this point if Tiffany just cashed in one night just because.
also, real quick tangent. This is going to be really, really quick, guys. Don't worry. I love the new design of the IC belt.
Oh, with the blue, yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
yeah, no, I do enjoy that.
I missed the blue on the IC belt.
But yeah, no. As far as this match, I mean, I thought it was fine. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Am I upset that Tiffany has not yet cashed in? A little bit, but
I can wait.
again, I guess in like the grand scheme of things, I understand it. Especially because I genuinely thought she was going to cash in.
Mhm.
It was set up perfectly, and then Nia did that sit up, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she fucking shot up too, like straight up, like looking like the Undertaker, just like
Mhm.
the fuck you say,
eyes
bitch.
wide open, and everything, man. Like,
It's that bitch in here, gone.
That was nuts. I flipped out. Thank God she got up just in time. I didn't want her to cash in.
yeah, man, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have that much to say on this. This match was a little bit formulaic, a little bit of everything, but it did exactly what it needed to do, which was forward the story of Tiffany and Nia.
Yeah. It was
So
a.
yeah,
I feel like it was a pretty simple match. It was obvious who was going to win. Um, and it was just a matter of when is she going to cash in. That's how I feel like that's what's going to be for Naya's title reign. Is just when is Tiffany going to cash in?
Yeah. I think that's the entire reason that Nia is the champion in the first place is simply to have this storyline with Tiffany to make and like I get it, like they're drawing it out a little bit, but it's like how many times can we do the same thing where she's about to cash in and she gets caught and she's like, no, 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 I wasn't going to do it. I swear, I was just.
There was something in my eye.
Yeah, it's the same thing every time. Like what? Either change it up a little bit and like have a different circumstance to it, or just pull the trigger at this point.
let me
Because there's
ask you
only
guys.
so many times that she can get caught and be like, "Oh no, I wasn't cashing in."
So actually, I have a question for you guys because I feel like we all kind of have similar feelings about this match. So instead, let me raise this question: how do we feel about the idea of Tiffany Stratton turning face? Because in this angle, it really seems like Tiffany is the face in this situation, where
Oh
she's
yeah,
meant to be
because
the face.
Oh, I'd love her even
the
more.
second she cashes in on Naya, she's gonna get a huge pop because she's already over as it is anyway. She already gets a huge pop when she comes out, and then you're gonna have Nia Jax, who everyone loves to hate, gunning for her. So of course she's gonna be a babyface, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
But how do we
Let
feel
her
about
be
As,
her
her.
as a baby face?
I think she
as
Because to
can
be
much as
pull
I
it
honest, I
off.
think
think she
She can
worked
do
better
it.
as a heel.
I think she can
she
pull
could
it
do
off,
it,
but she might
Yeah.
have to turn heel sooner rather
yeah,
than later.
Yeah.
she would be better as a heel.
She's
But
definitely
if they
better
have
as a
to make
heel
her
because
face,
she has that like cocky pretty girl
yeah,
vibe, like
the
Mean
fans
Girls type shit.
have her
Yeah.
But
back.
like
Nah, she's
like I
pro
said,
wrestler
she's
Barbie.
very exactly. She's Jack Barbie. But like I said, she's very over at the moment, so she could probably get away with a not so stellar babyface run because she's so over. I mean, she's already got the catchphrase.
Pee time.
True, true.
Get out.
Francis, what about you? Do you how you feel about Tiffany as a face?
Oh, I'd love her even more. I was talking about like unmitigated sympathy
Simp.
earlier in the show, but like I
I don't know that we could say that on Twitch.
Simp. We're not
Geed,
monetized. Who gives a
unmitigated
fuck? He's a simp.
yet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can't really say that. Wait, can we not say that?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know if
I don't think we can
Yeah,
on
I
Twitch,
don't know.
man.
that's the whole thing. But yeah, no, like if Tippy goes like full on babyface, then yeah, no, I guess I'm gonna have to start belting I'm Just Ken from the rooftops.
You wish.
Can we please
Really?
make a video of him doing that if this is what happens?
Listen, AI is a thing, and it can make it
Unfortunately.
happen with a fucking keystroke.
What we're
That's
talking about replacing Fran. I'm sorry, I like zoned out. We were talking about replacing
No,
Francis.
Francis singing "I'm Just Ken" from the Barbie movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, because I was about to say we don't need to AI him. We can just get rid of him.
Yeah, you'd be crawling back to me in a day.
Oh, please, we'll get Chris to take your place.
Nah.
Yo, no, Scott in particular, because he can't go a day without me because that's how much
And you
Now,
know
you know
what?
what?
Yeah,
We'll
him
just,
for
I
you
don't
know
know
me.
what?
if
We'll
you
just
can
stick
go a
with
day without
video.
your hate boner for Francis.
Now, you know
Yeah.
what? You know what we'll
I,
do, Dom. We'll just
my
have
hate
your.
boner for Francis can last for when I see him on Saturdays.
Fair
Nope.
enough.
Nope.
All right. Anyway, moving on. Francis, what was the next match?
We have, after that, the continuation of the blood feud between Judgment Day Hollywood and Judgment Day Wolfpack. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor.
All right, so I'm gonna open the floor with this. I'm gonna open the conversation here. Guys, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I think the wrong guy. As much as I love Damien, and I mean it when I say this, I love Damien. I like him a lot. The wrong guy won in this. In my opinion,
Yeah.
the wrong guy won when it came to this. I do not think that Damien needed this win particularly as much as Finn did. I'm telling you right now, and because I've been belting it since SummerSlam. There is no this version of Judgment Day has no credence to it. There is nobody on this in this team that I find to be the imposing threat or the right type of aura that you need for this faction to be as intimidating as they are trying to portray themselves to be without some type of wins.
See, but
Without some wins, without some victories, without like guys, we were going a period of like how many weeks where like 5 people were getting beat up by 2 people. 5 people.
here's my thing. That's the entire point of this feud in the first place, because it's just showing that the Judgment Day can't survive without Damien and Rhea. They were the main reason the Judgment Day was so successful, and I think that's the point they're trying to get across in the first place. Is like they need them more than Damien and Rhea needed Judgment Day. You know, so they could do that where it's like, okay, they can't win against Damien and Rhea, so they're going to move on. Granted, Liv's had Rhea's number pretty much this entire time, short of like the random attacks and stuff. But when the matches matter, Liv's been able to pull it out. But like it's a matter of like they're using it to kind of elevate Damian Priest away from needing Judgment Day, because that was the whole thing. It was that was the whole storyline too. Was Damian needs Judgment Day? He needs it, and he was like, "No, I don't." And now he's proving he's like, "I'm better than you. I don't need you." So he can move on maybe towards a better singles career and like go after the heavyweight championship again, or even the WWE championship at some point. But who knows?
I don't know. I think this has a little bit. I think this has to do because it's starting to hit me into a realization. I think Triple H has the habit of always letting the hero win at the end, and
It's not just
unless
Triple
it's
H.
like unless
It was
unless
Vince too.
unless it's a title. I know, but unless it's a but Vince would have like multiple like heels that would be like going off. I feel like we never really see a heel go off and dominate unless they have a title on them or they're going to win the title, that they only get like a hard push.
Yeah, but that's Vince used to do that too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but
just,
I
That's
remember a
just
bunch of
WWE.
wrestlers
But
that I
that dude,
hated that was constantly down our throat.
just because
yeah,
you hated them doesn't mean they were heels.
man. Like,
No, they were heels. That's what they were projected.
yeah.
I feel like we had a lot more like dominance in heels than we do. Like I feel like we always have
Like
the
who?
face winning. Look, Cody. Every time they go up to Cody, Cody constantly wins his matches. The
Yeah, because he's
Intercontinental
the
title
fucking
is constantly
champion.
being
Biggest star in the
the
company, right?
Intercontinental title is now currently with a face, and Braun Breaker barely had any chance. Before the heavyweight, Seth Rollins was mainly a face. I mean, again, a heel. It's because we knew Gunther was going to win a major title. That's the reason the heel was dominating
Yeah, but
dominating that
Seth,
area.
when Seth was a heel, he wasn't winning a goddamn fucking match. What are you talking about? He didn't start winning until he turned face again.
He has the title though. He had a title when he was face.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. He was a face and he gets the title.
but I'm saying you were saying he was a heel and he was dominating. He was not. He was losing every match.
No,
Yeah,
face
Scott,
dominating. I meant,
sorry,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm genuinely confused. What the
We have a
argument?
lot more happy endings than we should. I remember a lot more upsetting endings
Like what?
back in the past than I did with Triple H.
Okay, explain. What heels were dominating at the time?
But we would have Chris Jericho that was a heel. We would have The Miz that would be a heel. We would have, we always had Ric Flair, a Triple H that was constantly a heel.
Also, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Randy Orton that was dominating. That was a heel.
Yeah, but they were heels that were over.
Guys that were over, and they inevitably
Turned face anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
inevitably
a lot
they would
less.
turn
A lot
face
less
unless they
heels
did
are
lose.
over now. We don't
Well, that's
have
their
as
fucking
much heels.
fault.
Oh, so you want
JBL was a heel. He was getting pulled over as a heel. We had King Booker that was a heel. He was getting pushed over hard as a heel.
Okay, so I think I'm start. Hold on, I think I'm starting to understand what he's talking about. So Scott, you feel like your feel what you're feeling is that like the heel is not getting over in stories. Is that
Unless
what
it's a
is that what
title
I'm
match.
understanding?
Yeah,
Like they're not
unless
getting over.
unless they're pushed in a title match, if it's just a regular storyline between two non-champions having a feud with each other, I always usually see the face win that match.
Okay, you know what? I will. At least I can understand what you're saying. However,
I get
I
what
do
you're
need
saying.
to point out we just had a heel that was champion for like 4 years.
Yeah, but he was there like once every 5 weeks,
But he was
once
still,
every like 2
but he was
months.
still
Yeah, but
winning.
But he was a
it's
heel,
it's
and he was
hard
getting over in
it's hard to
stories.
hate someone when you're not there to hate them.
That makes
No,
it
it
easier
isn't.
for
He
me to hate
wasn't
them.
doing his job as a
You
wrestler
still
and
That's
being
the
hate
whole
there.
reason I hated
No,
Brock
it isn't.
Lesnar for so long.
Not like that at all. That's the big reason why we hated Brock so much.
I get what you're saying,
Yeah,
Scott, but I
but
don't agree.
especially since Roman Reigns was going into that feud, like, we need to have a champion that's here. That's the whole thing with Brock Lesnar was his champion. Is every wrestler's mission was we need a wrestler that's here every time. And as
Yeah,
soon as Roman Reigns wins it,
Yeah.
he turns right into the wrestler that he wanted to
Yeah.
stop.
no, but I get what you're saying, Scott. Like I do, I understand. But my only argument is that WWE has been pushing. That's been their bread and butter for the longest time. Is the hero winning in the end? Like, yeah, they might lose a couple matches on the way, but like they're gonna be victorious in the end. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of having a heel is so they can lose.
True.
Like, yeah, they're
If
gonna hold the title every now and then because they need to move it from one babyface to another. But at the end of the day, WWE is a fucking soap opera. It is what it is. It's gonna have a happy ending no matter what they do. But like I get what you're saying. Like it would be nice to see the heels win a little more often, but I can't agree with you 100% that there's more happy endings under Triple H. I think it's about the same. I think we're just in that moment of all the happy endings are happening simultaneously. Like they're all like around the same time. But like we got Liv taking the happy ending away from Rhea over and over again.
Yeah. Also, like
but there's
didn't
also
just
wrestlers.
have,
I don't know. There's also some that have already had a push that has constantly just been like.
Also, here's another thing I would add to that. Wasn't Gunther just champion for like 3 years
As a heel.
as a heel?
And he's currently champion again as a heel.
Yeah.
Currently champion, yes.
Like yes,
he's a freaking nature.
But that's the thing. He's a heel, but he's over. The crowd loves him. They're gonna cheer for him no matter what he does. So like that's I guess like that. I get what you're saying, but
because I would put in the tag titles because we do have heel tag champions, but like the tag champions they're not being
showcased like they used to.
Like a total of one time.
I can't even count them as like a tag team. Because they never defend. They're never doing anything to make me hate them. It's just like you're there. I hate you, but you're there.
You're holding the belt, and it's whatever.
Yeah. But that's a conversation for another day. I want to bring it back to the main topic. I want to talk about Damien, and I want to talk about Finn. So, Scott, your take on this match?
100%. I picked Finn for a reason. It was the wrong person to push. I don't feel like anybody from the Terra Twins should have won at the end of this feud. It really didn't. Didn't Damien and Rhea win both interactions before this when it came to their
by technicality? By technicality,
yeah, they won the last two. So Damien didn't need the sweep, and it can also help the Judgment Day because who else but Finn Balor can be the fear factor within that group? Be like, all right, we gotta kind of like be careful with this group. We don't know what Finn we don't know what Finn's a mastermind. We don't know what he's capable of with this group.
Yeah, true, man. Francis, your take.
Dom and I actually no, me, Dom, and Scott are all tied now because of we're all 2-2-2. Cap, you're still on one.
That's not the fucking point he was asking. What did you think about the match?
I liked it. It was fine. I hope the feud is over now, though.
Okay,
it is.
Okay,
I doubt it, bro.
Well, after that very deep analysis, before we move on, I will ask this one question because I feel like this is a bigger topic to bring up here. Guys, why is it so hard for Finn to get over in this company, man?
I don't know.
Why
Like
is
I
it
said, I
so
think right
damn hard?
now is just one of those moments where because he's a heel, he's got to take some lumps and just lose a bunch of matches, which is unfortunate because he's one of one of the best wrestlers in the company.
Yeah.
It's insane.
But
Dude, forget
that's
about losing a couple matches. He loses
consistently.
I'm
Yes,
trying to be
I
careful when I
understand.
say
Yeah.
this because I know Chrissy's listening somewhere in the back, and she yelled at me for this already.
No, because no.
The
She yelled
man
at you because you
loses.
said Finn sucks. He doesn't suck. He's just being booked wrong.
So I just like I don't understand. What does this dude not have?
That's the thing. I don't.
What is
I
missing?
don't know if it's a matter of not having something. I think again, this could just be my optimism speaking, but I think he's one of those people who's okay taking, like, staring at the lights at the end of the night to put over somebody else. Because maybe in his, like, if he does this, it'll earn, it'll be leverage. Excuse me. It'll be leverage to politic for a push at some point.
Man,
Because
I hope to God that push happens soon, man. Because like I'm really getting
you and me
tired of
both.
this already.
You and me both. Like that's why, like I wish it wasn't going, like, as much as Gunther needed the title, not needed the title, but like as I think the title needed Gunther more, but whatever. You get my point. As much as Gunther was meant to have the World Heavyweight Championship, I think it would have been really interesting if Finn is the one that took it off Damien. Like
I
that would
think
have
it would have.
been,
I think it would have been a lot more interesting, to be
yeah.
honest with you.
It
Give
definitely
him
would
the
have.
title run he never got to have.
Yeah, exactly. Because then it also it gives a reason for to have this feud more. Like, yes, it's like he broke up the Judgment Day and he stole my title. Then
Yeah.
it's all the more reason for Damien to go after Finn the way he has been. And like,
No, I agree.
but
Man.
I could see hopefully in the future a good title run for Finn. But like I said, it's a lot of wrestling. Pro wrestling is politics. It's a lot of being able to push your weight around a little bit, and who knows, he might not have that much weight backstage. But like now with Triple H in charge, like fully in charge of creative, that could change because he was so good with Triple H back in when he was in NXT under Black and Gold. But like right now, they only time will tell. I think once we move away from the Judgment Day feud, we could really see what happens because like if Finn moves on to something else and can start looking towards maybe the heavyweight championship, or maybe they move him over to SmackDown and he can go after Cody, something like that. Or even if they want to give him like an IC title run, I think that would be cool. Like just something, anything. Like even if it's not a world championship, at least like the Intercontinental can give him something to do to prove himself.
After they finally lose the tag titles that they have defended.
They haven't fucking done
Yeah.
anything with it anyway. Who cares? Just fucking have JD McDonough take the pin to some other schmuck, and then they can move on.
Please do something with your tag teams, WWE.
Please do. All right, Scott, Francis, you got anything else you want to put in this?
I just did.
All right.
Nope. Don't have
All right,
anything.
Francis, what's the next match?
From one Judgment Day Hollywood versus Judgment Day Wolfpack match to another, it is Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan in the second ever custody of Dominic match.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, this match.
This is where things get dicey because it ended in a way that I can safely say I don't think any of us would have expected.
I also don't think it ended the way that
Yeah.
it was intended to end.
I
Yeah,
don't
Scott,
think
like
it was
when
too.
you and I saw the ending to this match, you and I just looked at each other like, well, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah.
We were so confused. I was
Yeah,
like,
like,
I'm actually
it
curious
was the
to
most
see it.
random thing.
where did that come from? We were
So,
And
wrong.
Dom has 2 of them now.
I don't think so. Like, do we
Nah, it's
count?
more like a. I don't know.
No, but to get to what Scott and Francis are alluding to, at one point during the match, towards the end, Dominic was suspended from the shark cage because he was able to pick the lock and open the door, fell out with his foot attached to a chain,
that was
and
scary,
was
by the way.
which scared the ever living fuck out of me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, oh my god, oh.
Man, oh my god.
And then I saw the chain and I was like, oh, okay. Rhea Ripley then beat the ever living fuck out of him with a kendo stick, like a mustachioed pinata that he was. When to also, can we talk about the fact that she legitimately said to the referee, "Hey, I gotta go take care of something," and the referee said, "Okay."
Okay, yeah, I like that. I like
Yeah, he's like, "You
They're
deserve
really
that,"
passing-
and I'm like,
passing
they
off
really
this
just
stuff to be an
fucking
absolute goober.
yeah.
Mm.
They really just
I
said,
mean, Rhea's
"Okay,
not
yeah,
doing
you're not
any-
gonna get counted out, so go do your thing." But
She can't get. Yeah, I mean,
so then
she can't get disqualified.
while she was attempting to get candy out of the Mysterio pinata, Raquel Rodriguez attacked her from behind. But where I think it all went wrong was the referee. Either the referee was out of place at the time, or Raquel jumped the gun and came in too early or too late, maybe. But basically, Raquel Rodriguez returned and attacked Rhea Ripley in plain sight of the referee. The referee was looking right at him, and they were right. He was right smack there, right in front of him. So he did his best to turn around and act like nothing happened, but you could tell from the way the bell was rung, because I didn't see the referee call for the bell. I think Triple H called the bell.
I think he did.
I think Triple H was obviously because he's in everyone's ear in production, the same way Vince used to be.
Felt so weird.
Yeah, I think he saw the way it went down and told the timekeepers area to just ring the bell and call it a DQ. Because the fact that Raquel then proceeded to go back in the ring, hit Rhea with I forgot what the hell she hit her with. She hit her with another move. To then lay Liv Morgan on top of her. I think the match was supposed to end with Raquel returning, hitting Rhea without the ref seeing, and then throw her in the ring, put Liv on top of her, and then the ref counts
Liv
1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
and Liv gets the win that way, and then Raquel Rodriguez carries Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio off into the sunset.
Instead, Rhea wins via DQ, which literally
means absolutely nothing.
So none of us get points then.
None of us get point for the match because nothing went the way we thought it would.
Yeah.
So
I also did not anticipate Raquel Rodriguez coming back.
Neither did I.
I thought it was. I think it's interesting because
weird. I had a feeling in the back of my head, but for some reason I just didn't say anything.
Who did get points though?
Nobody.
Nobody got any.
Do you want to know the scoreboard right now, Scott?
No,
he was asking who got points for the match. Nobody, because we all picked Liv.
It was DQ. Oh, yeah, DQ.
Yeah,
because Rhea won via disqualification.
Yeah, true.
None of us.
Which none of us had on our yellow card.
Yeah, if things went smoothly like the way Dom said they would, then yeah, all of us would have gotten the point again.
It was stupid. They just ruined more of that title run.
Again, I don't think it was on purpose. I think it was a botched finish.
Yeah, Scott,
but either way, how that storyline would have finished.
Yeah,
because Liv didn't win on her own.
Didn't help.
Yeah.
You could have actually gotten the extra point, Scott, because the added bonus you put in was Dom passes Liv brass knucks or a weapon of some sort.
But he
didn't. The cage, but he couldn't have.
Didn't do that though.
So how would he get points?
He did. He wanted, that's why he fell over and he's like, you need to get some.
Anyway.
Anyway, yeah, let me, I guess I'll open the floor on this. Listen, I have no problem with, Raquel doing, anything, to be honest with you.
But you're a geek.
No, it's because she's literally done nothing since she got to the main roster. Um,
No,
Listen, this is a perfectly fine spot for her to be in. I think this works perfectly fine. Uh, have we clarified? Is she part of the Judgment Day or is she
Yeah,
not?
I was about to
I
ask that. Is she
don't
joining
know
Judgment
because I
Day?
don't. They
I
didn't
don't know.
have. Did they? I don't think they even had any of the Judgment Day members on Raw this week.
They didn't. They didn't bring it up.
So
Unless you kill Liv and Dom.
It's not the
yeah, but
Judgment Day
they.
anymore. It's just just a group of random people. That's
Um.
basically
It's
what it is.
Judgment Day Hollywood.
Anyway, I don't know at the moment. I'm gonna go with no, but that could literally change in the span of a week. Um.
Well,
Because she came back to give Liv the assist, which makes sense because they were tag team partners and tag team champions together at one point.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it makes perfect sense. That's why I have no problem with it. And also, I feel like
Oh,
she
I
does
actually have
provide
something.
them. She actually does kind of provide them with what they've been lacking, which is like a
Muscle.
legitimate enforcer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, JD, you're not a legitimate enforcer.
No, his forehead doesn't count as
Um,
muscle.
Hold on, I have something before we get off the Judgment Day segment because I was supposed to say this during Damian Priest's match. Apparently I saw something that it's a funny altercation between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Apparently Finn Balor was going up wanting to win this feud. Like he was, I don't know if he was complaining, but he wanted to win this feud. He said I should win it. You know, was basically begging them something. And
Yeah.
Damian Priest goes up to him and says, "That's not how that work. That doesn't work for me, brother. Like you don't get to just say you want to. Like basically, that's what I'm thinking. It went down. Like
Yeah, Damien out politicked him. That's it.
Huh.
That's what I'm
don't.
saying.
That's not how that works.
Booking
Yeah, like
is partially creative, but it's also a lot of politics. Perfect example: Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels. Supposed to be best 2 out of 3. Hulk Hogan said, "Nah, I'm gonna win in one, and that's it." And Vince was like, "You got it."
Yeah,
Mhm.
man.
Which,
Anyway,
in hindsight, produced arguably one of the best wrestling matches of all time. Not for its skill, but for its
Well, for Shawn
comedy.
Michaels looking like an octopus in a washing
Yes.
machine.
and for the love of God, because I saw it multiple times. Can we please stop with these non-selling finishers? Can we please go back to finishers actually being something that you were afraid to receive? Because it is so pissing me off now. The fact that Finn Balor did like 3 coup de graces and did not
Coup de
fucking
grace.
win
coup de grace.
coup de grace. I don't care. I'm annoyed because I'm tired of
He know
seeing Cody Rhodes having to do five code 5 of his
Crossroads.
finishers just to beat 5 crossroads just to beat one person. I
I
missed
will
it
agree with that.
when a finisher was like when Triple H came in and you were versing him, people would flip out if there was any sign that he was getting the pedigree on you. Like people would literally reverse the move and dip out of the ring because they're afraid of that finisher.
Yeah.
I want finishers to mean something again. Like, please, it is so stupid the fact that they do these finishers every fucking time, 3 times, and it's like, oh, he just kicks out. No, lay
Yeah.
the fuck down.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, the false finish is definitely an art form that not everyone is fantastic at. Um, I miss the days of the protected finish and this and that. I do agree. Um, but like there is something about like kicking out at like 2.99 whatever.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be on like every match. I don't think like counter the move or something, or maybe like just move out of the way enough where it's like, oh, you didn't get all of it or something. Give
Yeah,
a
man.
reason to kick out other than, oh my god, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, is there so little about this match that we can say that we actually went back to talking about the match previously? Is that basically what just
I
happened?
mean, I feel like a majority of the stuff that we were talking about and were interested was what the fuck was the Raquel Rodriguez botch finish thing, because that
No, that
confused the
was
hell out of us.
about it.
That was
Yeah,
just weird.
They should
anyway,
they should just stop it with her. Like I feel like every time she's in something, she just fucks it up every time. Like this was a debut and she still messed it up. Like
yeah.
And yeah, like
I
going
don't
back
get
to
it.
Legend, so
Well,
like
again, I
it's
don't know if it was her fault or if it was the referee's fault. Because I
Yeah,
think the referee might have just been out of place.
Maybe,
Because he
but
very
I don't know.
quickly he was running towards Rhea and Dom, and then Raquel beat him to the punch, like kind of thing. And then you very quickly saw him go "Oop," and just turn around and look back at Liv Morgan. I'm like, dude, really? Like you're so
Damn.
fucking out of place. It's not even funny.
yeah. So
Yeah.
before we get to the main event, how do you guys feel about the possibility of Bill Goldberg versus Gunther?
I hate it.
I
All right, so you know
don't.
No,
what? So you know what? Hold on. Now it's time for me to go on a rant about something.
no, his old ass couldn't even go over the barricade, and he
No, no,
lost his
no, no,
breath.
no, no.
Let
You know
him
Man,
what?
sit down
Stop.
and
No,
watch
no.
now.
You know what? No, sit down. I need to take over this one. So this
I,
entire thing, actually, I'm actually quite glad you brought this up because this all started with the introduction of that Crown Jewel Championship, and I'm gonna say this right now: that is one of the most gaudy freaking title belts I have ever seen in my entire life. I could barely tell you what the belt looks like because it was refracting so hard. Like
Tiffany Stratton is telling that belt
this
that it's
thing.
too bedazzled.
Yes, absolutely, 100%, Francis. And what was all of this meant to set up? What was all of this meant to set up? Oh, it was meant to set up Gunther versus Bill Goldberg. I can tell you how that match is going to go right now. Gunther's going to chop the freaking soul out of him.
Except probably, well,
I
maybe.
don't know if they're actually going for that or not.
I think it's going to be
No,
Gunther versus Cody, actually.
I'm
I
gonna
think that that's
be
where it's
I'm
going.
gonna be
I think that that's
optimistic.
where it's going.
I'm gonna be
But you know what?
optimistic. So
But you know what? You know what is actually like that? No, I'm sorry. You know what? It's time for me to have a rant on this show for 1 second about something else other than Logan Paul. I'm gonna tell you this right. I'm gonna tell you all this right now. The thing that pisses me off the most about this segment, about the fact that we're getting Goldberg versus Gunther, is because of what it does to Braun Breaker. Let me explain what I'm talking about. We had that whole payoff last week. Braun came out, he shook Jay's hand, and then later on that night on Raw, he had a stare down with Gunther. We were going to get Gunther versus Braun Breaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then what happens on Raw this past week after that whole little whatever the hell that was between Gunther and Goldberg? Oh, we get Braun Breaker spearing the hell out of Jay Uso because he wants his IC title back. They reverted him. They reverted any bit of character progression that Braun Breaker had for the sake of Bill Goldberg coming up to Triple H and saying, "Oh, give me this match. I want this match. I want to go fight Gunther. Gunther, you're next. I'm 60 years old. I ain't done shit in the past 10 years, but you know what? I want a match." It is it pisses me off so much that this is happening due to the simple fact that this is some Vince McMahon booking shit right here. A 60-year-old man who has no relevance in professional wrestling anymore going up against the champion and costing Braun Breaker an opportunity that he could have absolutely used at this moment. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
It's annoying. I hate it. I hate everything about this, man.
Yo, I don't even know if this is actually gonna be a match.
Okay, but
I
like,
just
what if
feel,
it's going to be
I feel like,
Cody versus Gunther?
I feel like Gunther personally took a shot at him because he also complimented Goldberg previously against another legend. So he probably just wanted to make. I'm gonna say Gunther was making a statement, and it was like, listen, I might have used you as a compliment, but I don't like you anyway. I don't like any of you legends. It's all about me.
yeah.
Even if it
So
doesn't happen at Crown Jewel, it's
So-
probably. What if it happens at like Survivor Series or something like
Okay,
that? Why
so-
is Bill
It probably
Goldberg
won't.
involved in this at all?
here's my thing. I don't
Because it's in
think.
his contract when he signs with Vince that he has a few more matches.
Yeah, he does have a few
Close.
matches left with WWE,
That was 2 years ago.
and he hasn't
Yeah.
done them all yet. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. I don't think this is going to be an actual match.
Yeah.
I think
And if it is,
first
he's not
off,
gonna go up against
first
Gunther.
off, here's the whole situation as I see it. When Bret Hart was on the show, Gunther made a comment saying that his childhood hero was Bill Goldberg. just to piss off
Brett.
Bret Hart. Because why the fuck else would you say that? Granted, and this is coming from someone who fucking idolized Goldberg as a kid. Goldberg was at Bad Blood because he lives in Atlanta. So, of course, they're going to have the Hall of Fame guy front row center. And Gunther's going to be like, well, I brought him up to Bret Hart. I should probably talk shit to him. And Triple H was like, yeah, you should. So he talks shit to him. They have their moment. Goldberg jumps in the ring to feel important.
Loses his breath in the process.
Yeah, gets blown up in the process. I don't think this is going to be a full-blown match between Gunther and Goldberg. I think maybe Goldberg, wanting the money, takes a Saudi payday, goes to Crown Jewel, spears Gunther in the middle of the match, and so Cody can win against Gunther. So this way you keep the face of the company on top, but you're also protecting Gunther, so he doesn't have to lose to Cody Rhodes. Because realistically, you put the two of them together, I'm picking Gunther. I think that's the win there in a fair fight. But now you have that involvement of, let's say the ref gets knocked down, all of a sudden here comes Goldberg all out of breath and sweaty, hits Gunther with a spear, he rolls out of the ring, Cody hits Gunther with the crossroads, referee wakes up, 1, 2, 3, and then it cuts like when Cody wins the belt, yay, I won the belt that weighs 75 pounds and looks like a fucking...
And only canonical
you can definitely,
when we're in Saudi.
You can definitely tell that the people who always go, the main people that are involved with them going to Saudi Arabia.
I was about to say the only reason they have that belt in the first place is because the Saudi prince wanted a belt. That's it. That's the only reason. That's the only reason they're doing it. That's the only reason they're doing it.
If you have the power to do that,
yeah, you have the power and the money to tell WWE, hey, make me a belt because I want one. Why the fuck wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Right?
It's not even that.
I'm allowing.
And here's the other thing: they love Goldberg. They love him. So why wouldn't you have him there? It makes sense from a business perspective. It makes sense from a creative perspective. But also, you get your pop. You get your pop of Goldberg.
From a business perspective, it makes sense. But I'm sorry to tell you, I'm telling you right now, I'm sick of the fact that we consistently have to take away the story and the progression of characters.
Yes, I agree.
Simply for the goddamn nostalgia trip bullshit from a wrestler who's been back in WWE at least 20 times already in the past 5 years.
Yes, I agree. I feel for Braun Breaker, I really do, because I really wanted him to be that spot. But at the same time, the nostalgia kicks in.
Like an idiot.
But the nostalgia just kicks in now.
Oh my god, yo, wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute, Cap. You motherfucker, because we had this last week. What happened to, he's only 26. He can wait to win another championship. He's not that old.
All right, let's get him on fight pit time. You know?
All of a sudden, now Braun Breaker's getting screwed over. Oh, look who's right in the first place when we had that argument of him losing the Intercontinental Championship in the first place. Oh, that just hit my head when you hit that second rip.
I wanted to say that because in the story that we had going for us, it made sense because he lost to Jey Uso, he was going to fight Gunther, everything was going to be fine, and then here comes Bill Goldberg bursting through.
Him losing the Intercontinental Championship made no sense.
So now,
him losing, no.
Because he went back on everything he did last week.
You're trying to make your point. Listen, Cap, anything you say, you're not helping your point, give or take that. Now you're defending that he's getting screwed over of opportunities. He should have never lost. He should have never lost the Intercontinental Championship to begin with. He should have held it on a little bit longer. He should have, if he was going to lose that title, they said he was going to. We've covered this story on Instagram. I think I put it on Instagram that it said They want him to be the star of 2025. Well, we're not in 2025, and he could have held on to that title near the end. He could have lost it at the Rumble, or he could have lost it at Mania, and then
Yeah,
now
he
his
could have seen
powerful
serious
comeback
forward
is
progression
he's
from
going to
him
wreak
in a
havoc and
rivalry
destroy
against
the
Gunther,
business
who you
and
yourself,
win that title.
who you yourself specifically has said is the best goddamn wrestler in this company right now. You yourself said that. I'm going to use your own goddamn words against you. We could have seen some serious forward progression from Braun Breaker versus Gunther, but now we can't see that because of a freaking selfish old bastard who just wants his 15 minutes in Saudi Arabia again for the 5th time in a row.
No, it's because we gave it to a wrestler who doesn't deserve a title. It's
This
not
has
because
nothing
of
to
some
do with
old
Jay.
person who's promised something that still hasn't gotten it after years and still hasn't gotten what he was promised.
Look
This
at
is
me.
about a wrestler that did not deserve the title to begin with, and beat Braun Breaker, which he should have dominated with that title. That would have helped his name up, and then he would have dominated going forward because he was a dominant Intercontinental Champion.
You know what else would have done it? A rivalry against the best goddamn wrestler in this company right now, Scott.
You done?
Anyway,
Are you good?
Before we continue screaming, I do want to say, Cap, you're yelling so loud, you're peaking your own microphone, so a lot of your audio got cut out.
Yeah. Also, Scott, congratulations. You are now Satan again.
Yes. But I do have to kind of agree with Scott. He is very young. He can bounce back from this. It isn't the end of the world. And they want to make him the star of 2025. As Scott said, we're not in 2025 yet. But you know what it is? The Royal Rumble.
Ooh, do we have
I still think, and I'm putting this out there now, Braun Breaker is my favorite to win the Royal Rumble next year. Simply because they want to push this dude. You can't push him if he's already a champion.
Yeah.
Let Bill Goldberg have his fucking payday in Saudi Arabia. That's whatever. I don't count the Saudi shows as canon anyway. To me,
they're not in WWE 616.
They're filler episodes to me. But I also agree with Cap. I don't think he needed to go back to being a heel. I think they could have just put it like kind of on the back burner for now.
That is where I put in my disagreement real quick. I agree and disagree because, yeah, I would have liked to see some greater character development from Braun Breaker, but at the same time, he's a Steiner, and if Steiners are good at anything aside from wrestling, it's acting like every 80s jock character all rolled into one.
So that was going to be my next point, was I don't know if this is a heel turn or if this is more
a tweener?
Them trying to make him a tweener. Yeah. Let him do heel things, but he's still going to be over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look,
he shook Jay's hand, but that just goes to show you can't trust him. And that's the point.
And look at it this way,
make him a wild man.
That was his character in NXT, so why not just continue that here?
Yeah.
He's a Steiner. Making him a nutcase running around just beating the hell out of anybody.
Exactly. He's a Steiner. He's basically bipolar.
He's a Steiner. He's gonna walk a tiger down to the ring, guys. Come on.
Oh my god.
But that's my only point.
I want him to walk a tiger down the ring now.
If he walks a tiger down the ring, will that make you feel better?
If he walks a tiger to the ring while doing Steiner math, would that make you happy?
If he walks a tiger to the ring while doing Steiner math, and the tiger is wearing a graduation cap, can we all get along?
God forbid we ever get Braun Breaker as a person to appear on this podcast. He's going to get bombarded with Steiner math.
Oh, if Braun Breaker shows up, we're just going to ask him to do. We're just going to say, "Hey, Braun." So
Braun Breaker shows up. Let's be completely honest. The only thing he's doing is spearing Francis. But that's.
I would pay good money. I would pay good money to see that.
I will pay. I will take.
I would love that. Would be a great day.
Hi, here's my rent for the next 5 months. Can you hit me with a Steiner recliner, please? And then do Steiner math to my unconscious body and film it for my buddies?
Like I'm not going to be there with the camera. Like, put it in harder.
I'm going to be like right there. What are you talking? Actually, we're all going to be standing right there. What are we talking about?
Yeah, really.
Uh,
Kick him in the face.
Let's talk about the main event.
winning, Harrison.
All right, let's talk about the main event. I've said everything.
Do we have to?
I mean,
we kind of do.
it's Cody versus Roman. We all get points for this again.
Gee, what a surprise.
I know, right? I'm just as shocked as you guys are.
Yeah.
The only noteworthy thing is that we did not get the finish Dom wanted, where Cody tries to hit a guy with a crossroads, someone runs in to interfere, but Roman spears him, and that's how they get the win. We didn't get that.
Bullshit.
We did get like 10-minute entrances for both Cody and Roman.
What a surprise.
Guys.
An orchestra that was completely useless, by the way.
An orchestra, if you notice and you watch it back, watch the woman playing the timpani drums. She's not hitting anything. She's just going.
Did they really need this for a bad blood pay-per-view?
Is she actually not hitting it?
No, she wasn't hitting it, and none of what she was pretending to hit made any sense.
Well, yeah, because for some reason they decided to play his song music on top of it anyway. So
it's weird. Like, again, this isn't a. If it was for a Big Four pay-per-view, I could see it, but it's not. It feels like you guys are just like compensating or going. Not even compensating. You're just doing overkill for no reason. It's just like, yeah, we them boys, and we're gonna fucking.
How much longer before Roman Reigns just descends down to the ring on a golden chariot or something?
Oh, that's next WrestleMania. That's next WrestleMania. WrestleMania 41. That's it.
I mean, seeing how his face was walking down the ring, he might just come out in the wheelchair because he looked insanely skinny.
He did lose a lot of weight, but he's fucking toned up.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Toned up big time.
I think Roman's gonna walk a tiger to the ring instead of Braun.
He's gonna ride a tiger to the ring.
One of us usually gives a match this stamp. Last time Francis gave us the stamp, I will give the stamp. This was the worst match of the pay-per-view. I almost fell asleep watching it. It was so boring. The only excitement was that Jimmy Uso came back after not doing a single thing anywhere, being so realistic to his character.
Well, because he was out with an injury.
And when he
wasn't really talking or anything and stuff like that.
Because he was fucking keeping kayfabe alive, my guy.
Yeah, dude. He would.
We usually hear somebody saying Jimmy's coming back.
And you know what? I like it better. I like it better this way. I like being surprised. I hate it when it's like, oh, The Rock's going to be there. Like, oh,
no, I give credit.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on The Rock showing up.
Oh, we're about to get started.
We're gonna have to talk about.
You guys want to skip right to the end because we all knew how this.
Yeah, we all know how it was gonna end. It was whatever. Yeah, blah blah blah.
We all knew how it was gonna end.
Cody and Roman win. Yay! The Rock's there.
Before we get to The Rock, I just want to say one thing. For the love of God, please end the story. I don't want to see Bloodline and Cody Rhodes again. I'm tired of seeing that. I want to see something else. This has been 3 years and it's still not over. You should have never gotten rid of the button, Tom, because the story never ended. Because he's still popping up in the storyline with the Bloodline. It's never going to stop. And I swear to God, if that extra member is Cody Rhodes and not Zilla Fatu or any other family member, I'm going to be pissed off. I do not want to see them until WrestleMania.
Well, you might as well just stay pissed. You might as well just stay pissed because I can almost guarantee it. Like, at least as the way it is right now, I could put money on the fact that it's going to be The Rock is the one behind Solo Sikoa in the first place.
No.
Yes, I'm telling you now. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be that The Rock was behind Solo the whole time, and he was the one making all the calls, and Solo was like the puppet. And then it's going to be The Rock, Solo, and God versus Roman, Cody, and the Usos.
Wait, did you guys
God, no.
not see it coming that it was The Rock behind?
We've been saying that since WrestleMania.
It's like, oh, okay, so The Rock hired Solo. Doy.
No, I knew it was gonna happen. I just don't want to see him appear. He just needs.
What's gonna happen?
It's gonna happen, and get used to it, bitch.
It's gonna happen. Deal with it.
Oh,
I mean, he's only gonna be on TV until we find out something anyway. So it's bound to end soon.
All right, we're not doing that. We're not
Yeah.
pushing it.
I don't know what doing what.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what you're doing. Fucking stop.
I don't know what.
All
I'm
right,
doing.
shut up.
I never know.
All right, so yeah.
and the pay-per-view ends with The Rock saying, "And I'm here too." Eyebrow.
He wanted to be included so badly.
I will be honest though, and I will say this because I'm pretty sure Scott brought it up earlier on in this episode, and I agree with him. I do think it is genuinely disappointing that the Hell in a Cell got pushed from being the main event match
To the opener.
to the beginning of the card so that we could do this, which was 15 seconds of The Rock coming in, not doing anything.
Not saying a single fucking word.
Not saying anything, not really doing anything, but then walking
Although,
away.
I will say we did get a great clip on social media from, I think it was Instagram, of The Rock cutting a promo backstage, ironically,
True.
on them saying that he's back and this and that, and then he walks past a production truck that had Dusty Rhodes' face on it, and he's like, "That is Dusty Rhodes. That is my idol. That is my mentor. I love him. I love you, but I hate your son." And then he turns and looks at the other production truck that had John Cena on it and said, "Go eat some Fruity Pebbles," and walked away. I thought that was really fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie. I laughed my ass off at that one.
I will admit that was funny. By the way, we finally got that KO heel turn that we've been
Yeah.
wanting.
They didn't show it on TV. They didn't fucking make a big deal of it. I don't even know if did WWE even post the video on their social medias? I don't think they did.
The closest they got to that was
media. I think they purposely put it there so that people could get video of it and put it on their socials.
Because they let people blow it up on their social media, and then on Raw they said we're aware of the situation that happened between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, and we're handling it internally, which basically means no one's allowed to talk about it on TV, which is fucking insane to me.
Yeah. Which is no, it means watch SmackDown. That's what.
No, yeah, but I just thought that was. I'm getting so fucking worked up. I got the hiccups. I think that was genius fucking level marketing to say, "Hey, look, we're not going to post it, but everybody else did."
Yeah. I think.
Look at this viral moment that happened that wasn't supposed to happen.
I think it was genuinely perfect this way. I think it makes everything feel more real, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's the point.
Now that we live in a world where literally everybody has one of these,
everyone has the power of the fucking internet in their pocket.
Like now that we have these, which are literally so basically WWE can have cameras everywhere
at all times.
If they really want to,
and they know that anywhere that a wrestler is seen that isn't smack in the middle of that fucking ring, people are gonna have it. Oh my god!
They're going to be following him anyway, so why not?
Look, Rey Mysterio's a real person. Holy shit! Let's get a video of him, and then they do some crazy shit like that. That's fucking genius.
I think it's brilliant.
And hey, Scott, you get your wish. Like Cody.
Yeah, KO finally turned heel,
and Cody's not involved with the Bloodline right now.
Yeah, because that's clearly going to be his next feud. Is KO heel turn.
I don't want to see him until Mania. I don't want after Mania. Okay, maybe they can pop up again together, but I don't want to see it again.
I think he means the Bloodline.
I was going to say
Bloodline and Cody, them two together.
Oh, fucking contacts, bitch! I thought you meant Kevin Owens. I was like, what do you mean?
No. In the beginning, I said I do not want to see Cody Rhodes and the Bloodline at all as a storyline anymore.
Yeah, but then we talked about 3 other things, and then you brought it back without any context.
No, that was my fault. I said Scott gets his wish. Cody can feud against someone who isn't the Bloodline now, and he was going off on that. Yeah.
All right.
Never mind.
All right. So overall, it was a good pay-per-view. I think kind of a weird ending, but whatever.
The
Listen,
final
they,
score.
they can't all be
You made up
perfect.
for it with the Cody and KO thing, I
Yeah.
feel.
The final score is Cap. You are dead last with 2 points.
Loser.
Sorry.
you're not.
And no, I'm not. I think I'm Satan in this regard.
All right, today.
And yeah, and Dom, me, and Scott have all tied
A
with
three-way
3
tie.
points. Yeah. How do we want to do this, gentlemen?
Wait, I thought Dom won with 6. You had 4, and I had 5.
No, it's like 3, 3, and 3. It's dead even. I just went over it all, but he didn't get all
So
those
there
extra
was
points.
no winner,
I
basically.
thought Dom
Yeah.
had one. I thought Dom had one for like an extra pointer that got him in.
Nah, he didn't get any of he didn't get any of the points he was supposed to. So it's a
I
three-way.
didn't get any of my like bonus prediction things.
Huh.
So do we all want to just agree on a pay-per-view to watch?
How about we make
Does anyone
it?
have one in mind?
I do.
How about this? How about we make it a pay per view that only appeared once?
Like what?
Actually, that was the one I was going to bring up.
What?
Canadian Stampede 1997.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you pull
Canadian
that out?
Stampede.
Yeah, really. I thought you were gonna go with like Evolution from fucking
Where did you
2019.
pull Canadian Stampede?
Oh my god! I don't even know what I'm gonna be watching. To be
Oh,
honest,
it's something.
from the
It's
name.
like it's something I've been wanting to show you guys, Dom and Scott in particular, for a while.
All right.
Why not me?
No, that you guys includes you, dumbass.
Yeah, you got to watch it too.
I'm gonna figure out
He
what
thinks-
it is. I'm gonna level with you. I've never heard of this paper.
Well, it's got to be. Is it on Peacock?
Yes, it's a WWE
Okay.
show.
All right,
This
so
was
it's on
a
Peacock.
WWE show.
It's peak fucking anti-American Bret Hart when he was at his most powerful.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that match.
Okay. All right.
And
All right,
Scott, you'll like it. It has Austin in it.
All right, just
Okay.
put it on the Discord what the name is, so I remember.
Yeah. Make sure you share it in Discord later. Well, folks,
Was
you
that
heard it here
what
first.
You were talking about.
Folks, you heard it here first. Where the prediction game, first pay-per-view that we're all going to watch and review next week is Canadian Stampede from 1997.
Yes.
Yes, folks.
All right.
You can catch us next week live on Twitch as we do our review of 1997 Canadian Stampede.
Canada.
We're doing this.
Oh, trust me, this is one I wanted to
able
talk with you
to-
guys for a while
I'm glad you're happy. I don't know what the hell to expect, to be
because it
honest.
technically means I win.
Anyway,
Not really. Anyway, folks, we want to thank you for tuning in to the stream tonight. Be sure that if you like what you heard tonight, if you like watching me and Scott borderline murder each other, if you like seeing Francis lose his mind over everything or a lot of things,
It's
and
not
if
that
you
hard
like-
a thing to do.
or if you like to watch Dom regret his decision of knowing any of us, be sure to follow us here on Twitch, and be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube for the weekly podcast. If you want to see even more of us, you can also follow us on TikTok and Instagram at The Push Wrestling, and check us out soon wherever you hear your podcasts. So we're going to wrap it up there, and for all of us here at The Push, my name is Cap.
I'm Dom.
Got here.
And I'm Francis.
Ring that bell for me, Dom.